The dragon no one would touch. The emergency lights flickered across the medical bay of Orion Station. Red warnings flashed again and again, filling the long metal room with a low, endless alarm. On the center table lay a dragon. Not the kind seen in stories or old legends. This one was real, massive, breathing barely. Its body was covered in dark scales, uneven and cracked like burned stone. Some scales were missing completely, exposing glowing veins underneath. Thick black blood slowly leaked onto the cold metal floor. The air smelled sharp and metallic. Around the table stood the best alien medics in the sector. And yet no one moved. They kept their distance. Some stood behind machines. Others avoided looking at the dragon at all. "This is a mistake," one medic whispered. "We should never have brought it here." Another shook his head slowly. "That species is forbidden. Everyone knows that." The dragon let out a low sound, half growl, half pain. Its long tail twitched once, then fell still. A medical scanner beeped faster. Heart rate dropping. Blood pressure unstable. Time running out. Still, no one stepped forward. These were trained professionals. They had treated war beasts, parasites, living machines. But this creature, this dragon, was different. Its eyes were closed, but its presence filled the room. Even unconscious, it felt dangerous. Like it could wake up at any moment and burn the station from the inside. One medic finally spoke louder. "If we try to treat it and fail, we die. If we succeed, its kind may still kill us." The room fell silent. Everyone knew the stories. Dragons like this one were said to be cursed. Their blood reacted violently to foreign tools. Their bodies rejected alien medicine. Hospitals that treated them never survived. Entire crews vanished. Stations were found empty, burned from within. This dragon was known as a creeper dragon, a name given by fear, not science. The scanner let out a sharp tone. Flat, then a weak signal returned. The dragon was dying. A young medic clenched his hands. "We can't just let it die." An older one snapped back. "We can. And we should." The dragon suddenly gasped. Its chest rose sharply, then dropped. A deep crack spread across one of its scales, glowing faintly red. The alarms grew louder. If it died here, the station would still be blamed. If it lived, the consequences could be worse. That was when the doors slid open. The sound cut through the alarms. Everyone turned. A human stepped inside. He was average in height, wearing a plain medical coat. No rank symbols. No advanced armor. His brown hair was slightly messy, his face tired. He stopped when he saw the dragon. For a moment, even he froze. The size, the damage, the raw power in that broken body. Then he walked closer. "Are you insane?" someone shouted. "Stay back." The human looked at the scanner, then at the dragon. "It's still alive," he said calmly. "That thing is a walking disaster," an alien medic replied. "No one treats creeper dragons." The human frowned. "It's a patient." That single word caused murmurs across the room. Patient, not monster, not weapon, not curse. Patient. The dragon's eyes slowly opened. Just one. A glowing amber eye locked onto the human. Several medics jumped back in fear. The dragon didn't roar, didn't attack. It simply stared. The human swallowed, but did not step away. He reached for the scanner controls. "Don't touch the machine," someone yelled. "You don't know what its blood will do." The human hesitated for half a second. Then he placed his hand on the console. The readings changed instantly. His eyes widened. "This isn't corruption," he whispered. "It's a reaction." The dragon released a low, painful sound again. Its claws scratched weakly against the table. The human took a breath. "I can help it." The room exploded with noise. "You'll get us all killed. This breaks interstellar law. Security should remove him." But the human didn't argue. He just looked at the dragon, really looked. Not at its size, not at its teeth, at its wounds. The scanner beeped faster. The dragon's heart was failing. The human straightened. "If no one else will treat it," he said quietly, "then I will." The dragon's eye blinked once. Outside the station, unknown to everyone inside, something ancient had begun to move. And this one human decision was about to change everything. Why the aliens were afraid. The room felt smaller now. Not because the dragon moved, but because everyone else did. Alien medics slowly backed away, pressing themselves against walls and equipment. Their eyes stayed locked on the table, on the broken body of the creeper dragon, and on the human standing beside it. The alarms were still screaming. The dragon's heart signal flickered again. Weak. Unstable. This should not be happening, said an alien medic with silver skin and 4 eyes. His voice trembled. That dragon should already be dead. The human didn't answer. He kept studying the screen. Behind them, an older alien stepped forward. His uniform marked him as a senior medical officer. He had seen wars, plagues, and extinctions. And still, his hand shook. Human, the officer said slowly. Do you know what that creature is? The human nodded once. A patient. A sharp hiss spread through the room. The officer's eyes darkened. No, he said. That is a mistake with teeth. He turned to the others. Do you know why creeper dragons are banned from treatment? He asked. No one answered out loud, but everyone knew pieces of the story. The officer continued. 200 cycles ago, a medical fleet tried to save one. Just one. The dragon looked injured. Weak. Just like this. He paused. That fleet vanished. The lights flickered as if the station itself remembered. They found the ships days later. No bodies. No life signs. Only melted metal and claw marks inside the walls. A young medic swallowed hard. They say the dragon woke during surgery. Another added. They say it felt fear and answered with fire. The dragon on the table shifted slightly. Its tail dragged across the metal with a slow scrape. Several medics gasped. The human glanced back at the dragon, then returned his eyes to the screen. That doesn't explain this, he said. The officer frowned. What? The human pointed at the readings. This isn't aggression. Its organs are shutting down. Slowly, like it's being poisoned. The word hit the room like a shockwave. Poisoned, someone repeated. The officer shook his head sharply. No, impossible. Dragons like that cannot be poisoned. The dragon suddenly released a harsh breath. Smoke leaked from between its teeth. The alarm spiked. Its heart rate jumped, then dropped. The human felt a chill run through him. He leaned closer to the scanner. The numbers didn't make sense. Alien medicine was flooding the dragon's body automatically. Nanites, stabilizers, healing fields. Tools designed to save almost any known species. But instead of helping, they were killing it. The human whispered, Your machines are attacking it. Silence. Then laughter. Nervous, sharp. That's absurd, an alien medic said. Our technology is perfect. The human shook his head. Perfect for you, he replied. Not for this dragon. The dragon's eye opened again. This time both eyes. Bright amber. Burning. Aged. They moved slowly. Not with rage, but with awareness. The dragon was awake. A wave of fear swept the room. Weapons activated automatically along the walls. Defense drones powered up. The officer raised a hand. No sudden moves. The dragon didn't roar. Instead, its chest shook as it struggled to breathe. A deep sound escaped its throat, not fire. Pain. The human felt something twist inside his chest. He had seen this before. Different species. Different worlds. Same look. Fear mixed with suffering. The human took a step closer. The officer grabbed his arm. Don't. If it wanted to kill us, the human said quietly, we would already be dead. The dragon's gaze locked onto the human again. Its massive head tilted just slightly. The translator device on the table sparked, then came alive. A voice filled the room. Broken. Slow. Ancient. Pain burns inside. Every alien froze. The officer's mouth opened, but no sound came out. The dragon continued. Your light cuts me. The human looked at the machines. The healing field glowed bright blue around the dragon's body. He understood now. Alien medicine used energy fields. Dragons like this one lived on controlled internal heat. The field wasn't healing. It was burning the dragon from the inside. The human's hands tightened into fists. We have to turn it off, he said. The officer stared at him like he had lost his mind. If we shut down the system, he said, and it attacks. It won't, the human replied. How do you know? Someone shouted. The human looked at the dragon. Because it hasn't already. The dragon's breathing grew weaker. Its eyes began to close again. The alarm screamed louder than ever. The officer hesitated. Laws, fear, centuries of hatred, and one dying dragon. Human, the officer said slowly. If you do this, there is no going back. The human reached for the control panel. I know. His finger hovered over the switch. Outside the station, deep in space, something massive changed direction. Something that felt the dragon's pain and was coming. The human seized the truth. The room held its breath. The human's finger hovered over the control switch. One press would shut down the alien healing field. One press could save the dragon or kill everyone in the room. The alarm screamed louder, as if warning him to stop. Don't do it, an alien medic whispered. If you're wrong, we all die. The human didn't answer. He stared at the screen again, at the numbers no one else could understand. Alien medics trusted their machines without question. Humans didn't. He noticed something small. Every time the healing field increased power, the dragon's heart slowed. Every time the system tried to fix the damage, the wounds grew worse. This is not a disease, the human said quietly. It's an immune response. The officer stared at him. That is impossible. For you, the human replied. Not for it. The dragon's body suddenly arched. A sharp crack echoed as another scale split open. Heat rushed into the room. Several medics screamed and ran back. Weapons charged along the walls. The dragon's eyes snapped open fully now, bright, ancient, aware. Fire flickered behind its teeth. The human's heart pounded. This was the moment. He pressed the switch. The blue healing field shut off instantly. Every alarm on the station went silent. No hum, no glow, no safety systems, just raw silence. For one terrifying second, nothing happened. Then, the dragon gasped. A deep, slow breath filled its massive chest. The smoke around its mouth faded. Its heart rate stabilized. One of the medics stared at the scanner. That can't be right. The numbers were improving. The dragon's cracked scales stopped glowing red. The bleeding slowed. The human let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. It's working, he said. The officer looked stunned. You turned off everything. I turned off what was killing it. The dragon slowly lowered its head. Its claws relaxed. The fire behind its eyes dimmed. Not gone, but controlled. Then the translator crackled again. Paying us. The room erupted in shocked whispers. The human stepped closer to the table, carefully. The dragon watched him, unblinking. Up close, the dragon looked even older. Scars crossed its face. Battle marks. Burn lines. This was not a wild beast. This was a survivor. The human gently touched one broken scale with a tool. The dragon didn't react. Your body isn't broken, the human said softly. It's defending itself. The officer swallowed. All this time, we thought they were cursed. The dragon's eyes narrowed slightly. You feared us, it said slowly. So you hurt us. Those words hit harder than any roar. The officer looked away. Suddenly, a loud warning tone echoed through the bay. External signal detected. Everyone froze. The lights shifted to deep red. A station AI voice spoke. Unknown fleet entering range. The human frowned. What kind of fleet? The answer came back cold and clear. Dragon origin energy signatures detected. Fear exploded through the room. They're coming, someone whispered. They felt it. The officer turned to the human. You saved it, and now you've summoned them. The dragon lifted its head again. Its wings twitched slightly, despite the injuries. No, it said. Its voice was stronger now. They are not coming for war. Everyone stared. They are coming, the dragon continued. Because I still live. The human met the dragon's gaze. For the first time, the dragon looked at him not as a healer, but as an ally. Outside the station, massive shadows moved through space. And the galaxy was about to learn one simple truth. Humans did not fear dragons. They listened to them. The risk no one expected. The medical bay shook slightly as the station adjusted its shields. Outside, the unknown fleet was getting closer. Inside, fear spread faster than fire. They're dragon ships, an alien technician said, staring at the display. Old design. Very old. The officer clenched his jaw. How many? The answer came quietly. Too many. The human stood beside the dragon, his hands still hovering near the tools. He could feel the heat coming from the dragon's body. Not wild, not burning, controlled. The dragon was no longer dying, but it was far from safe. We need to move it, the officer said. To containment. Now. The dragon's eyes snapped toward him. No cage, it growled. The sound vibrated through the walls. Several medics backed away in fear. The officer raised his voice. This station will not survive if your kind attacks. The dragon slowly turned its head, pain flashing through its eyes. They will attack, it said, if you harm me again. Silence fell. The human stepped forward. Both of you are right, he said. Everyone looked at him. We can't cage it, the human continued. And we can't leave it here with half measures. The officer stared at him. What are you suggesting? The human took a slow breath. I will treat it my way. The room exploded with noise. That's illegal. Human medicine is unapproved. You don't even have the equipment. The officer raised a hand, silencing them. What do you mean? He asked carefully. Your way. The human looked at the dragon. No machines. No fields. No alien tech. He paused. Only direct treatment. The officer's eyes widened. That's suicide. The dragon studied the human closely. You would touch me, it said, almost in disbelief. The human nodded. I already did. The dragon was silent for a long moment. Then it lowered its head, slowly, carefully. I accept, it said. The officer felt the weight of centuries pressing down on him. This breaks every galactic law, he said. If this fails, history will blame us. The human met his gaze. History already blames dragons, he said. Maybe it's time to blame fear instead. Another warning alarm rang out. Dragon fleet, closing fast. No more time. Do it, the officer said quietly. The human moved fast. He powered down every remaining alien system. Lights dimmed. Machines went dark. The room felt raw. He pulled out simple tools. Manual injectors. Heat-resistant gloves. Nothing advanced. Nothing flashy. Just human hands. The dragon tensed as the human approached its wounds. Pain flashed across its face. Easy, the human said softly. He applied pressure to a cracked scale. The dragon hissed, but did not strike. Instead, it endured. Everyone watched in stunned silence. Minutes passed. The dragon's breathing grew steadier. Then suddenly, the dragon's body convulsed. A surge of heat burst outward. Walls scorched. Alarms flared. Get back, someone screamed. But the human stayed. He was knocked to one knee, his glove burning, skin blistering. Still, he didn't let go. Hold on, he said through clenched teeth. The dragon roared, not in anger, but in release. A wave of fire rushed upward, stopping just short of the ceiling. Then it vanished. The dragon collapsed back onto the table. Smoke filled the room. For a terrifying second, no one moved. The scanner, still running on emergency power, beeped once. Then again. Stable. Alive. The officer stared at the readings. You stabilized it. The human leaned back, exhausted, his arms shaking. The dragon slowly lifted its head. It looked at the human with something new in its eyes. Respect. You risked yourself, it said, for no reward. The human gave a tired smile. That's what humans do. The station AI interrupted. Dragon fleet now within visual range. Screens lit up. Massive shapes filled space. Ancient. Powerful. Watching. The dragon straightened, as much as its wounds allowed. Do not fear, it said to the room. They will listen. The officer swallowed. And why is that? The dragon looked at the human again. Because one of you chose courage over fear. Outside, the dragon fleet slowed. They were not attacking. They were waiting. And for the first time in galactic history, the fate of many species rested on a single human healer. The dragon's secret. The dragon fleet waited in silence. Outside the station windows, massive shapes floated in perfect formation. Their scales reflected starlight like moving mountains. No weapons fired. No threats sent. They were watching. Inside the medical bay, no one spoke. The injured dragon slowly pushed itself upright. The table groaned under its weight, but it did not break. Despite its wounds, the dragon looked different now. Calmer, stronger. The human stood nearby, his burned arm wrapped quickly in cloth. He said nothing. He only watched. The dragon turned its head toward the alien officer. "You fear my kind," the dragon said, "because you were taught lies." The officer swallowed. "We know what dragons have done." The dragon's eyes narrowed, not in anger, but in sadness. "You know what survivors told you," it replied. "Not the truth." The dragon lifted one claw slowly and placed it flat against the metal floor. A low vibration spread through the room. The station lights flickered. "What are you doing?" a medic whispered. "Showing you," the dragon answered. The air changed. Suddenly, images filled the room, projected not from machines, but from the dragon itself. Stars, old ships, ancient worlds, the past. Everyone watched in stunned silence. They saw dragons flying beside alien fleets, not attacking but defending. They saw dragons burning enemy weapons, shielding cities with their own bodies. "These were the guardian dragons," the dragon said. "We were protectors." The image shifted. Aliens began to appear fearful, suspicious. Weapons aimed at dragons who hovered peacefully. Then explosions. Dragons falling. Worlds burning, not by dragon fire, but by alien weapons. "We were betrayed," the dragon continued. "Those who survived were hunted." The officer's hands trembled. "No, that's not possible." The dragon's gaze locked onto him. "You called us creepers," it said. "You poisoned us with your medicine. You feared what you broke." The images faded. Silence returned, heavy and crushing. One medic dropped to their knees. All this time they whispered. The dragon turned to the human. "You saw the truth," it said. "Not because you are wiser, but because you looked without fear." The human shook his head slightly. "I just treated what was in front of me." The dragon's mouth curved into something close to a smile. "That is why humans are dangerous," it said softly. Outside, the dragon fleet shifted. One massive ship moved forward closer than the rest. The station AI spoke nervously. "Incoming transmission, dragon origin." The officer looked at the dragon. "What will they do?" he asked. The dragon straightened fully now, wings unfolding slightly despite the pain. "That depends," it said, "on how you answer for what was done." The screen lit up. An enormous dragon appeared, older, scarred, eyes burning with ancient intelligence. "Guardian Kael'rith," the dragon on the table said, bowing its head. "I still live." A deep rumble echoed through the speakers. "Then hope still lives," Kael'rith replied. The guardian's eyes shifted to the humans in the room. "And who healed you?" The dragon turned its head slowly and looked at the human. "He did," it said, when all others refused. The guardian studied the human closely. "A small being," Kael'rith said, "with great courage." The officer felt cold sweat run down his back. The guardian spoke again. "The galaxy will answer for its fear," it said. "But first, we will listen." The transmission ended. The dragon fleet did not attack. They moved closer, protectively. The officer exhaled shakily. "We were wrong," he admitted. The dragon nodded. "Yes," it said. "And now, you must choose what to do with the truth." The human looked at the dragon. "And if they don't?" he asked. The dragon's eyes burned brighter. "Then history will remember," it said, "that humans stood with us when a galaxy did not." Far beyond the station, ancient powers awakened. The age of fear was ending, and something new, something human, was beginning. When the galaxy responds, news spread faster than light. Within hours, every major system knew what happened on Orion Station. A creeper dragon had survived. Alien medicine had failed. A human had saved it. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. Holograms filled the massive chamber. Dozens of species, all speaking at once. Fear, anger, and disbelief mixed together. "This is impossible," one delegate shouted. "Dragons cannot be reasoned with." Another slammed their claw on the table. "If the dragons return, war is certain." At the center of the chamber, the human stood alone. No weapons, no armor, just a simple medical code. Behind him, A projection of the injured dragon appeared, alive, standing, watching. The room went silent. The council speaker leaned forward. "Human," she said carefully, "did you knowingly break galactic law?" The human nodded. "Yes." Gasps echoed through the chamber. "You endangered billions," another delegate hissed. The human looked around slowly. "No," he said. "I saved one life. You endangered billions by lying to yourselves." The dragon's image stepped forward. "You feared our strength," it said, "so you named it evil." Several delegates turned away, unable to meet its gaze. Outside council space, fleets mobilized. Some alien powers prepared weapons. Others fortified borders. And then, human ships arrived. Not warships, medical vessels, rescue carriers. They parked quietly near Orion Station. The message was clear. Humans were not choosing war. They were choosing responsibility. The council speaker's voice shook. Why would humans involve themselves in this? The human answered simply, because someone has to stand between fear and fire. The dragon fleet responded. Guardian Kael'rith appeared again, filling the chamber with his presence. "We do not seek conquest," Kael'rith said. "We seek truth." He turned his gaze toward the council. "For centuries, you hunted us, poisoned us, lied about us." The chamber trembled. "We could burn your worlds," Kael'rith continued calmly. "But instead, we waited." One delegate whispered, "For what?" Kael'rith's eyes shifted to the human. "For proof," the Guardian said, "that the galaxy could still choose differently." Silence crushed the room. Then something unexpected happened. A small alien delegate stood. "We were wrong," they said, voice shaking. "We believed the stories. We feared what we didn't understand." Others began to stand. Slowly, carefully. Not all. Some delegates vanished from the chamber, disconnecting, preparing for war. Kael'rith noticed. "There are still those who choose fear," he said. The human stepped forward. "Then let them watch," he said, "as we choose something better." The council speaker took a deep breath. "By council authority," she announced, "the ban on dragon medical aid is suspended." The chamber erupted. The dragon inclined its head. "Then this age may yet survive." Outside, the dragon fleet shifted position, forming a protective ring around Orion Station. Human ships moved beside them, not allies by treaty, allies by choice. But far from the council chamber, in the dark between systems, a different signal activated. Ancient weapons, hidden fleets, those who wanted dragons and humans destroyed together. The galaxy had made its choice. Now it would face the cost. And in the middle of it all, stood humanity, small, quiet, and unafraid. Humanity's quiet victory. The war everyone expected never came. For days, the galaxy waited. Fleets stayed in position. Weapons remained charged. News channels spoke of the coming fire. But nothing happened. The dragon fleet did not advance. Human ships did not attack. Orion Station remained standing, protected, not threatened. Instead, something far more dangerous spread. Truth. Records long hidden were released. Old battle footage, medical logs, orders that proved dragons had once been guardians, not monsters. World by world, people began to understand. Fear had written history, not facts. On Orion Station, the human medic returned to the medical bay. No guards followed him. No cameras surrounded him. Just work. The injured dragon, no longer called a creeper, stood on the hangar platform, wings slowly healing. Smaller dragons circled nearby, watching the humans with curiosity instead of hatred. The dragon looked down at the human. "You changed the path of many worlds," it said. The human shrugged. "I changed one patient's fate," he replied. The dragon lowered its head. Among dragons, this was a sign of deep respect. Guardian Kael'rith addressed the Galactic Council one final time. "We will not rule you," the ancient dragon said. "We will not judge you." The chamber was silent. "But we will remember," Kael'rith continued, "who reached out a hand when fear demanded fire." He turned his gaze to the human delegation. "Humans will be known as neutral healers," he declared, "protected by dragon law." Gasps echoed across the chamber. No species had ever been given such a title. The council speaker spoke softly. What do the dragons ask in return? Kilritha's answer was simple. Nothing, he said. Only that you do not forget. Borders changed, not with lines of war, but with agreements. Human medical teams were invited where no one else was trusted. Dragons returned to the stars, not as threats, but as watchers. As for the human medic, he declined awards, ignored interviews, refused command positions. He stayed where he began, helping the next patient. Weeks later, as Orion Station drifted in quiet orbit, the human paused by the viewport. A single dragon flew past, slow and peaceful. The dragon turned its head and nodded. The human nodded back. No words were needed. Far away, in classrooms and council halls, the story spread. Not about a war, not about a battle, but about a moment. A moment when every alien medic stepped back, and one human stepped forward. And the galaxy learned the most dangerous truth of all. Humans did not need claws. They did not need fire. When faced with fear, they chose courage.